Good morning, everyone. Got all the alerts off. We are good to go. It is Fantabulous Friday, and we know what that means. This is the day of the week that we chat. We talk about all your goals, what you accomplish, and making sure that we're patting ourselves on the back for a good job done. But good morning, everyone. This is Carol, aka Naughty Boss, live back in San Diego with two
Sistas. Hey, it's Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0, not in San Diego. I had enough with the 3-hour time change last week. Don't think that I could have done it this week, but you know what? You do what you have to do. And if you love what you do, it doesn't seem like such a chore. And we are so blessed in that regard. And obviously I want to tell everyone today is episode number 460. We have 40 more to go before we hit 500. And I said that to someone the other day. And they're like, wow, like 500? That's a lot of chit chat. And I said, yes, it is.
Yep. A lot of subjects, a lot of energy, a lot of passion, a lot of controversy, with different topics and also different types of guests. And we provide a platform that is such a place that regardless whether we don't necessarily agree with maybe the subject matter or a particular perspective, we provide that platform for anyone to really be a guest and really share their ideas and their passion, because we are all, number one, we always say this all the time, we're imperfectly perfect, but we also still have the ability, even if we don't have the exact same mindset, to learn from each other. And that's one of the things that we are super proud about with our podcast.
Yes, we are. And, as you said, we've shared many different perspectives, and we had a guest on recently that had a totally opposite, different point of view of how we approach our wellness. And, what I also want to reiterate, the importance of, standing firm, not only in your beliefs, but how you respectfully have that conversation. And we were able to do that. And excuse me, I think that's what makes us very unique, honestly. And I, when I first started thinking about this, I'm not afraid nor ashamed to boast. People all over the world have contacted us. I think that's amazing. And that's something to be really proud of. And, who knows where, we have a lot of things in the pipeline. Some that have worked in the past, some that have not. But we move forward in a way to showcase what we are passionate about. We're not fancy. I don't have fancy equipment. I know that Carol Sue has a microphone at home. We are real, raw, and authentic. And if we had put off, how Carol Sue, how sometimes you put off like, okay, I want to do this thing, but no, I got to really wait till I do this, this, or this.
Right.
Had we done that, which I don't want to say that we were thinking that. I certainly was thinking that, because when we started the podcast, I had no flipping clue what I was doing. I was at the controls, and
you're still at the controls.
I'm still at the controls. That's all good. But we did it is the point. So
hold on, I want to share this with you. I don't know what shift this is. But as you can tell, what I said was I am in San Diego. Let me see if I can flip this over. I don't know that I can. Let me look. No. Oh, darn. Sorry, I'm going to turn it this way. I don't know if you can see that big ship.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I'm wondering if that is the USS Nimitz, but I don't know. I know the USS Nimitz was here, but I think that one looks a little bit smaller.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Get your camera. It's moving. Yeah. So anyways, whoops. There we go. I wanted to share that. You got your phone. We got to take a picture of that because it's coming closer, like really, really quick. But anywho, I am here in San Diego for a Lavelle leadership conference. So I'm super excited because, it's always good to learn the latest, the craziest ways of doing things. And I say craziest because some things work for some people, some don't. So, it's going to be a great collaboration weekend where we are, I'm going to swap over so you can get the picture. My roommate is taking a picture. And ironically, we were talking about that episode that you were talking about recently last night. And, while she totally agreed with the perspective that we were talking about gut health, and just actually thought we were very postured in how we handled that podcast. So I wanted to give Kristen a shout out because she really enjoyed that. And she was like, wow, like totally, when you have one set of mindset of what you understand and what you really do know about health and wellness, and to hear a complete opposite view of what goes against your core, she was actually quite shocked that we were able to pull that off. But that's part of what we do. And we love doing that because even though I totally disagree 100% with her perspective on that there is no bad food in the world, there is no such thing. Totally disagree with that. And I don't even actually, from my perspective, not that she had to prove her perspective, but she didn't do a good job of supporting why she thinks there is no bad food, right? So, we let her kind of do her thing, which is fine. And hold on, I'm switching back to this spot because the lighting's a little bit better. So I'm going rotation side on San Diego Bay right now, Bayview. But I do believe, when you open your mind to trying new things and listening to new ideas. So this weekend that's exactly what it's about. It's going to be learning, obviously about team building. It's also going to be learning about different ways you approach your business. What may work for one person may not necessarily work for another person. So it's always a good time to like reset, recollaborate, get your mind, because we kind of go up and down. Any entrepreneur does that. You have days where you've got that get up and go, where you just want to like share to the world whatever you're passionate and feeling good about. But they will say that entrepreneurship is also an aspect of a profession that can be lonely. Sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm the only one here. You're not going into quote an office, a brick and mortar. Your brick and mortar is wherever you travel, because you choose that lifestyle to live life on your terms, to do your business, your passion on your terms. But we really do rely on different tools that are going to help reigniting that passion, whether it's collaborating with like-minded people that also have different ways of doing things. So I'm super excited to hear, speakers and listen to different leaders from across the United States and what works for them. I did happen to get some better lessons, which I'm still learning, on Instagram Reels. So, Kristen's been awesome about kind of showing me how the app works, because, apps are not my forte. And it's not as hard as it seems. It's just really, it feels good when you're with somebody and they're physically showing you. That's the type of learning I absolutely love. How about you?
Right. Oh my God, it's been an amazing week so far. And, lots going on as always. Doing a podcast this afternoon with my recent podcast inspired by my son. And I sent you the invite to like my page, and I don't think you ever liked it. So you got to like my page.
Oops. And I never even saw the alert. So, and that's what happens sometimes. The alerts, so you get these alerts and you miss them. So yes, please absolutely resend it. I'm going to support anything you're passionate about.
Oh, thank you. And that was inspired by my son, and I will just say that it's been amazing thus far. And this aspect or this avenue that we have, not only in TwoSistas, but with everything that we do, is very purposely intentional, but in such a good way. And I just think that is amazing. So I'm very excited about that. Ryan's doing okay.
That's good. I mean, I was going to say, what did he triumph over this week? I mean, moving forward, he's been released. Yes. He's got a good plan going on. So those are all things. And that's what we talk about, different triumphs. And when you celebrate yourself, a lot of people say, whoa, that's a little weird. Why don't you celebrate yourself? There's no better chairperson behind you than yourself, number one. But number two, we want to make sure that all the triumphs, and like we talk about, triumph is a big word. Like, you triumphed over something, you're celebrating something. What goals did you, accomplish all week long? But we don't want to get lost in the fact that these goals have levels. These milestones have levels that actually, and they're stepping stones to bring us to that bigger goal or bigger celebration. So, for someone, it may have been maybe they got out of their comfort zone. Maybe they tried a new fitness class. Maybe they decided, I've been procrastinating about doing this. And they actually took that first step forward to take that action. Because we often talk about, there are so many tools in your passionate toolbox that will aid you to those successes that you want to celebrate on Friday, right? But if you don't take the necessary actions to take the steps that bring you to the goal, you're doing a disservice to yourself. And part of it could be fear. Part of it could be, can I really do this? Part of it could be our own nervousness or perception of what others may think if we take those steps. And we always say, don't worry about other people. Don't worry about, if that's not their path or their journey or their gem or their jazz. You do you, and celebrate that you took the necessary stepping stones that eventually will lead you to that goal or that bigger thing you want to celebrate. So celebrate your stepping stones.
Absolutely. And, I was saying to somebody the other day, obviously we go live, you and I go live, and I'm more comfortable in a setting where I'm with somebody on a live feed versus, do you ever see me going live on my own, my personal Facebook page? And they challenge me to do that. I haven't done it yet. I'm kind of working up the courage to do that. And I know that sounds kind of weird. Like, why would I have this fear of going on by myself? I don't know. I can't explain it other than I do go on Zoom and then I'm like ready to do it. And I'm like, no, I can't do it. So.
Well, I'm going to put a challenge to you then. Don't do it through Zoom. Just actually do it on your own personal page. And what's the worst that can happen? Guess what? You can hit the delete button and not share it, because you have that option after you've gone live to post it. If you feel it wasn't, but I think part of the journey is seeing the flub ups, the mistakes, the missteps, maybe the wrong wording, the stuttering. We've been working really hard, especially when you have a podcast, to know the appropriate time to pause without the that takes practice, and it's not easy to do. The best spot to try it on, to learn, to really focus in on when those pauses occur, is going live with no Zoom. With Zoom, you still have that edit piece to it that you can edit it out. We don't want you to edit you. We want you to all be your real self, right? Mm-hmm. So with that takes practice. And if you have a fear of going live, like I said, what's the worst that's going to happen? You hit the delete button and you're like, yeah, that wasn't so good.
And I will say,
or you leave it. And actually, here's another key piece that probably you might not know because you don't go live on your own page. You have an option before you go live. There's a menu that comes down. That, if you press the button, you can hit only me. So you can actually go live. And you are live, but the only one that can see it is yourself. I did that in the very, very beginning, actually by mistake, because, and I think it was, you had pointed out, or maybe I asked somebody else, maybe it was Tina, I don't remember who it was. What did you think of the live? Well, I didn't see any live. And I'm like, what? And so when you go back into that post and you hit the edit for the privacy settings, you realize, oh my God, it says only me. No wonder I know what I saw. The only person that saw it was me. But it is a great tool if you are trying to, like, I just want to figure this out, get into my comfort jam. And I want to practice, but I want to actually practice purposely doing the act. So it's different when, back in the day, you could use a mirror and you kind of practice your speech, practice what you're going to talk about. One of the cool pieces of live is you don't always know how it's going to turn out. Whether you get that interruption, whether the hubby's knocking at the door, the wifey's knocking, or the kids, or the dog's barking, or the birds chirping, or guess what? If you're on your phone and the telephone rings. So these are all great tools on how you react spontaneously to things that are happening as they're occurring during your life. So I challenge you, Jan, and I challenge anyone else. Go live on your own page. If you're a little nervous, that's okay. Hit only me, try it once. Try it twice, try it 3 times, whatever floats your boat. And then actually try going to do it and actually do it with an audience. And the worst thing that can happen is we all are very judgmental on our own, what we look like. We're probably our hardest critics. We're also our best supporters, but we're also our hardest critics. A lot of people don't like even their own tone of their voice. I have an issue with the tone of my voice. I'm like, ooh, I sound like that. I'm kind of a little on the raspy side. I've been like that for years, probably from the cheerleading days of, being an event producer and screaming and yelling for your kid and now your grandkid or whatever. So I'm naturally kind of got I would say a little raspy tone to my voice. And that really bothered me for the longest time. And I'm like, well, no, that's who I am. That's me. So I'm going to celebrate that. I'm celebrating everything that's me. But we are our worst critics. So I will admit that does happen. But I challenge you to go do it. And if you got to do it with only you watching it, do it.
I accept the challenge. I will do it today at some point. And I'm going to challenge myself to share it out there because, why not? What is the worst possible thing that can happen? Maybe I end up deleting it. So I gratefully accept. And, the thing too is with video, there's so many different, here we go with them. There's so many different platforms out there. And I think I shared a couple of weeks ago that I inadvertently joined Locals and couldn't figure out how I did that, but I don't know a lot about that platform. So I've been uploading our videos to that platform. And I think the thing is you have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to accept a challenge, and it's okay to have that fear with it. That's part of what we do, and why not inspire somebody else to do that? So,
and don't you think that's where you get your most growth, is when you put yourself out there and you're exposed? I think a lot of people are afraid to be exposed maybe for critiquing, exposed for somebody may not like it, exposed because we're our hardest critic. When you're real and you're raw and you're out there and you are exposed, we are in our most vulnerable positions from a mental standpoint, from a mindset standpoint. But at the same time, that is usually where your creativity, those really creative juices start flowing, and where you may enter a journey or a pivot of something that you didn't expect. And that's where your most growth comes from.
Right. And I actually, the other day, went through my timeline. The last time that I did a live, and I did do this last year, it was, I want to say about 5 or 6 days, excuse me, after Ryan's initial accident, because I was, oh my God, the love and support, that we were all receiving, our family, not just myself, but our family, and the outpouring of support. And I couldn't keep up with the messages, and I wanted to let people know, what was happening. And I'm like, wow, it has been almost a year, really. So yeah, I accept the challenge. It's time to learn and grow just a little bit more. And maybe I can learn something different.
Sure you can. And you're going to do awesome. You're going to do awesome. And it doesn't matter, like I said, if there's little tweaks, whatever, that's part of really putting yourself out there. And that's a scary thing for a lot of people. You're not the only one. A lot of people get nervous about doing it. My mantra has always been, what's the worst that's going to happen? Am I going to die from it? No. Am I going to connect in such a way with somebody that might inspire them? Probably, could be, maybe not. And that's okay too. But the point is that you leave it all out there on the table. That remember, we talked about that. We want all of our goals, our dreams, our drive to not go in the boneyard. We don't want it to die with us, our passions. We want to be able to put them out there, regardless of whether they come to fruition. The fact that you put it out in the universe is really inspiring to other people, because not everyone can do it. And, there's a part of me that thinks when I hear that, oh, I couldn't do that. I wouldn't be able to put myself out there. I truly believe that anyone can at any given time. What holds them back is the fear of the exposure. So what I say to that is, what is the worst that's going to happen? You may do it once, one and done, kind of like a one-hit wonder. How about, speaking of one-hit wonders, let's talk about something about nothing. What is one of your favorite one-hit wonders?
One-hit wonders. Take On Me from 19, I think it was in the 1980s sometime. And there's
Yeah,
something,
that is a good one. I that's one of those, and it's one of those tunes that you just like naturally like, "Mm." And then
yeah,
you're
you
like,
just want to,
you want more, and you realize they're not even around. One hit wonder.
yeah, that's a great question. So here's nothing about nothing, but it's something. Today's word of the day,
Mm,
extrajudicial, done without legal authority.
that's a loaded one.
Extrajudicial.
Extrajudicial. Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah,
Extra, yeah, extra, extra, extra. Here we go.
I could break it up in segments. And speaking of segments, we have some amazing guests coming on, and was able to finally connect with another possible Australian guest. Again, it's been a couple of months in the making, getting through the time zone issues. And you know what? I feel so blessed and grateful that we get to do this. People from all over the world contact us, and trying to schedule everything. And this one was kind of neat because the representative is in the Philippines, which is 12 hours ahead of us, and her client is 2 hours ahead of her. They're also in Australia, so it's like, okay, well, it's 10 a.m. Trying to figure all that out. So we're getting through it.
And how cool is that her VA, virtual assistant, is a whole other country? I mean, this is how we work. This is really the new brick and mortar of the world, is that you can have clients, you can have customers, you can have people that are aiding in your business and your entrepreneurship, mindset, and they're not even in the same country, not in the same time zone. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's amazing. Just absolutely amazing. And, we have a great lineup for everyone, for some amazing guests. Like, I'm so excited for them to come on.
And how about a recap of I know we're on iHeart, we're on YouTube, we're on BitChute, we're on Rumble. Where else will be on? Locals, whatever Locals is. Never heard of that one.
Locals is a different type of platform. It's very similar, from the research that I've done, to Rumble. But you can create communities on there. And I guess I created a community and didn't realize it. I'm like, oh, okay. So, again, I don't know much about it, but yeah, we're on Locals, BitChute, Rumble, YouTube, 30 iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. And the list goes on and on. We're 30 plus platforms, and it's really hard to keep track of it all. And I will be doing another audit, obviously, before our 500th, because I think that's something to really be proud of. For instance, somebody in one of the podcast groups, who checked out our website, said, hey, how did you get onto Apple Podcasts? It's like been taking me months. And I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, well, what do you mean you don't know? And I'm like, I guess the process for that is you have to apply for it. Like, I guess it's a very stringent process.
Yeah, I heard that as well. But I also heard that depending on the number of platforms that you're on, number of
That could be
whatever the algorithms are, how many people are the viewership, that also, I think, from what I understand, I could be wrong. I don't know the entire process myself, but it kind of pushes you up the ladder to get into the different platforms. So I think that's probably how we got on Apple Podcasts, but who knows? But bravo to us. Celebration. Yeah. Another platform.
The list goes on and on. Google Podcasts, Deezer, Podcast Addicts, Ghana, like it just goes on and on and on.
It's pretty cool.
It sure is.
Pretty cool.
Right. So on this Fantabulous Friday, what's happening in your world? Go to our website, leave us a voice message. Do you have something that you want to celebrate with us? Like maybe it's an anniversary, birthday, and you want us to give a shout out. We would love to do that for you. And leave us a voice message. We'll get back to you usually within 24 hours, depending on what time zone you're in. I'm not going to call you at 2 a.m. your time. So just saying. But in any event, my name is Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0, beautiful North Haven, Connecticut today. It's Father's Day weekend, and we wish all the amazing dads out there, we love you all. And What?
It's not Father's Day weekend.
It's not Father's Day weekend? Are you sure?
I think it's Father's
Did
Day.
I screw that up?
I think it's next weekend. I'm pretty sure it's the 19th.
Oh,
the
you're
18th.
right. Oh my God. See, now I'm mixed up with my holidays. I correct myself. You are
No
absolutely
worries.
correct.
No worries. And the
Sunday,
well, you
19th.
know why? The reason why I know is because obviously I get back from San Diego. I'm only home for a few days and pack my bag. I'm flying on a jet plane again up north. And that is the weekend I'm coming up north. And I didn't realize when the trip was booked that it was Father's Day weekend. That's the only reason why I know.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected. Time zone challenge, holiday challenge, whatever. I'll be
Okay.
going live on my page today. You can bet that. And maybe I'll post it on the Two Sisters page. My name is Janice, AKA Wellness Diva 5.0, and I'm with Two
Sisters, and this is Carol Sue, AKA Naughty Boss, live from a kind of a cloudy San Diego at the moment because it's usually kind of foggy in the morning. Watching, as I'm doing this podcast, watching ships just, we're on the bay side, so we're watching the activity that's, going past me on the bay. There's some really cool ships out there. San Diego is one of those really cool spots, all these little nooks and crannies, boutiques, restaurants, a lot of cool hotels. And what's even more exciting is I'm going to be learning this weekend. So I'm super excited about that. Nothing like getting your mindset going. So we challenge all of you. Today is Friday, Fantabulous Friday. You celebrate you. Have that conversation with yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? What did I accomplish this week? What did I overcome? How did I change my mindset? What did I challenge myself to do? And guess what? There's no better cheerleader than yourselves. Pat yourselves on the back. You did a good job. We will see you Monday mindset. I should be, I'm arriving Monday morning. So we'll work out that detail because I'll be a little like, but we're going to do it. No worries. We will overcome. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hi, everyone.